Okay. One final thing, but it kind of rolls into our main story as we wrap things up. Remember that story we talked about last week with the guy, the tennis hat guy? He stole the hat from the kid and blah, blah, blah. I'll play it, but you guys know what I'm talking about. This was an open, and this little kid was getting an autograph from this tennis dude. I don't know much about tennis. And this dude, who ended up being a CEO, just grabbed it, took it, didn't give a shit. Okay, so two things have happened in the meantime. The first thing is, the best thing is that on a post on a Polish forum, he had come out. And
them white boys had me on crystal meth.
He says, yes, I took it. Yes, I did it in a rush, but as always, first come, first serve his life. And then he threatened to sue people who were saying mean things about him, right? And the reason this struck me, and then he since walked it back. His company
don't make me get out my seat.
Polished on Yelp and blah, blah, blah. So who knows if he kind
Wall
of...
Street needs your call.
I didn't post that. This is my comment. I'm sorry.
Shut the words.
Bad. I apologize. My guess is...
Oh, look, a gat.
That's it right there.
Hey, pay a nigga. Give me that grip.
I'ma get me a happy farmer kid.
Keep it locked and loaded, right where it's at. Radio Los.
I love violence.
Don't make
You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Make another smart choice with AutoCode Explorer. Compare rates from multiple car insurance companies all over. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance and Affiliates. Not available in all states and situations. Prices may vary.
Hi, I'm Kristen Bell, and if you know my husband Dax, then you also know he loves shopping for a car. Selling a car? Not so much.
We're really doing this, huh?
Thankfully, Carvana makes it easy. Answer a few questions, put in your VIN and license, and done. We sold ours in minutes this morning, and they'll come pick it up and...
Trying to put me in a bad spot here.
Oh, shit, I got it back.
Everybody move in.
Yeah. What you saying? Stupid! Send them ducats over here.
He can't move.
Hey, you want this to get uglier? Ah! get nasty. Hey, I'll have that now. What you say to me? This all you giving me? You want some lead in, huh? That's mine. What was you saying? Hey, you need a hole put in, huh? That's going in my retirement fund. G's up, fool. Yeah, them my ducats now.
Some very important record people.
Give me that blunt, man. Shit, I'm sucking a rope.
Hey, pass that bud.
You call it daddy? Call.
Out.
Don't lay a glove on me. nice piece of hoochie ass. Hey, baby.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You chose to play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Make another smart choice with Auto Quote Explorer. Compare rates from multiple car insurance companies all at once. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance and Affiliates. Not available in all states and situations. Prices may vary on how you buy.
Hi, I'm Kristen Bell. And if you know my husband Dax, then you also know he loves shopping for a car. Selling
baby,
a
you
car?
looking for some
Not so
fun?
much.
We're really doing this, huh?
Thankfully, Carvana makes it easy. Answer a few questions, put in your VIN or license, and done. We sold ours in minutes this morning, and they'll come pick it up and pay us this afternoon.
Bye-bye,
I
Truckee.
started off
Of
stripping
course,
that
we
crazy
kept
cunt.
the
Hey, man, see you
favorite.
later, dog. Have some fun with that.
Hello, other Truckee.
Sell your car with Carvana today. Terms and conditions apply.
Don't I know you, baby, or something?
Hey, everybody. Hi. What's going on? Welcome to the program. It's the Jeff Gerstmann Show. It is September 2nd, 2025, and here we are entering the thick of it. Video games coming out. When you said things months ago about things like, oh, the game's out in October. It might as well be October. We're practically there. If we make it, right? But we are entering the season of big video games, if whatever qualifies for big video games these days. It's but I don't know, whatever. There's like we're what 5 weeks out from Battlefield. Borderlands is out real soon, right? It's out next week. Is that next week? It's out
Hey, homie.
September 11th. Can't believe I forgot that, but yeah, that's out next week. So I don't know. That's a big deal. I don't know. We're Shinobi just came out. The Skate is out in a couple of weeks here, which we're gonna talk about.
Hey, dog,
We're gonna talk
what's
about
up?
Skate. Today is my son's first day of preschool. He was very excited, but he still wanted to play some We Love Katamari before breaking out for school.
What's cracking?
We're still figuring out the best way to get everybody up and ready and all that sort of stuff. But he sat down and played a good 8-9 minutes of it, and then it's like, okay, time to go. He's actually gotten to the point where he knows how to turn the PlayStation 5 off, which is more than I can say for a lot of people. You ever wonder why, like, they didn't even patch it in. They haven't even patched in the thing where you can hold down the PlayStation button and make it pop up the power off thing. Like, not only did they not launch with that functionality, they have not added it in the years since. So clearly they think this is a better way. They're wrong, but clearly they think this is the superior way for them to go over there. I don't know. It's ridiculous. Still a problem, I guess. We'll see now that he started school. He'll have more stuff going on, and I think his desire to play the game will be limited by just the amount of free time he has, and so that'll certainly be a factor. But in the days running up to the start of school, it was like the first words out of his mouth every morning. Daddy, can I play We Love Katamari? And like, dude, no, I just woke up, man. I don't want to do it. But he's very excited, and he knows all the names of all the cousins, which is I think is I think that's crazy. It's awesome, but like I imagine knowing the names of all the dudes from Katamari. I never would. I mean, now I kind of do. except that, you know, because he can't read, and my daughter can read well, but sometimes, you know, we'll just kind of fast read a word and get it wrong and whatever else. I don't know. No, this didn't come from, because he asked me, there's a character in Katamari, one of the characters, one of the unlockable characters, is named Johnson.
She look like she working.
And Johnson seems like a perfectly cool dude. They're all...
Don't tell me no bullshit poking.
Check the booty on back. I'll see you a couple more times.
Yeah, you think CJ a bitch, huh? This it?
Big and
Man, that's my
plump.
homie right there. Hey, this is Sargento.
Miso became something else. Maso. Then I
Hey,
have
yeah,
corrected them
that
multiple
was great.
times, and they say no. No, it's not It's not Miso. It's Maso. I'm like, okay,
Man, you a true friend.
ultimately, you guys are right. You can never
Yeah, he's
tell a
not my
player
hero.
that their feelings are wrong.
Not exactly
Right, that's
premium liquor, is it?
Can I get a
The first
swig of
rule
that,
of
man?
player feedback:
Emergent.
you can
gameplay.
never tell them that they're wrong.
What is this shit you're drinking? Hey!
They're both getting really good at that game. It's kind of crazy to watch. My daughter asked for the Switch for the first time in a long time, and you know, because he's commandeering the TV, and so she took the Switch Lite and was back to playing Super Mario 3D World, and I was over here playing an unnamed video game. Oh, it was
Can I get my drink
there was some
on?
fucking
Yeah,
hot
that's
gaming
the one.
going on in this room yesterday. It's just 3 people in the room, not talking to each other, playing video games. Like, yeah, parenting. So yeah, that's been fun. We're gonna talk about Shinobi. We're gonna talk about a little skate and the news and stuff. Why don't we take a quick ad break, and we'll come back. We'll get into some video games. Seems like things are just getting busier and busier all the time, right? I mean, the only thing growing faster than your inbox is your to-do list. Well, now
Ooh, she
you
fine
have
as
permission
hell.
to ignore both. For a little while, anyway. Thanks to IndaCloud. IndaCloud
like
makes
junkie, yo, what's
federally legal THC, gummies, exotic flower, pre-rolls, and vapes.
Hey,
Built for
baby.
that sweet spot between I'm done and
Yo, yo.
I'm actually fine. All of their products are Farm Bill compliant, 100%
Bitch like that in my family.
federally
Give me a
legal, third-party tested, and they ship discreetly. And it's not some sketchy dispensary. You're not like in some alley somewhere. No
Don't I
mystery
know you, baby, or
ingredients.
something?
Just over 50,000 happy customers who like their relaxation legal, simple,
Give a homie something
and
to
delivered
drink.
straight to their door. You're looking for like, I don't know, something to,
Good
like
looking
a little
out,
bit
homie.
better sleep. They've got a gummy for that.
Yeah.
And if flour is your thing, they do $80 ounces all year long. That's not a flash sale. That's not some
Sit
gimmick.
that over here.
Just a deal. $80. What do you want? Better focus for that kind of like September reset, or deeper sleep as the days get shorter, or just a peaceful scroll before bed?
The hose is out.
This is how you, a proper grown-up, can take the edge off now. So if you're 21 or older, go to indacloud.co and use the code Jeff for 25% off your first order plus free shipping. That's indacloud.co. Code Jeff for 25% off, free shipping, and a better mood showing up right to your door. Give it a little survey when you order. Hey, support the show. Let them know where you heard about it. And thanks to IndaCloud for making September feel a little bit lighter. And as always, please enjoy responsibly. Thanks again to IndaCloud for sponsoring today's episode.
Una silla de masajes puede parecer extravagante. 8 configuraciones diferentes, intensidad ajustable, además es calefaccionado. Y se siente tan bien. Sí, una silla de masajes puede parecer extravagante. Y 2, bueno, aún más. Pero cuando esas sillas de masajes vienen con un auto, se vuelven bastante prácticas. El nuevo Volkswagen Tiguan 2025 con funciones premium como los asientos delanteros con masaje disponibles. Solo parece extravagante.
Shinobi, man. Wow. Shinobi came out last week. There were so many other games coming out that it was kind of, I ended up not playing it until Wednesday of last week. There's a stream some video up on YouTube. If you want to see some of Shinobi Art of Vengeance in action. I'm really enjoying Shinobi. I think they did a really good job of making a pretty good modern 2D ninja platformer kind of thing. I don't know that I would say that it necessarily feels exactly like the old games, like it's. And that's probably for the best. I don't know. I think some people have gone both ways on this. I've seen people say like, "Oh man, I wish that this was more faithful to Shinobi 2 or 3 on Genesis." I don't think anyone is saying like, "Man, why isn't this more like Shinobi 1?" Which there's nothing wrong with the first Shinobi game. It's just very much an arcade game, and it's like Rolling Thunder with ninja stars instead of a pistol.
I think rollerblading is really important.
Yes, incredible.
Not the same thing.
Sayonara.
He's off the septic bastard!
But yes, I don't know. We're still. It's a problem. It's still a problem, I guess. We'll see now that he started school. He'll have more stuff going on, and I think his desire to play the game will be limited by just the amount of free time he has, and so that'll certainly be a factor. But in the days running up to the start of school, it was like the first words out of his mouth every morning. Daddy, can I play this? We look at him. No, I just woke up, man. I don't want to do it. But he's very excited, and he knows all the names of all the cousins, which is, I think that's crazy. It's awesome, but I imagine knowing the names of all the dudes from Katamari. I never would. I mean, now I kind of do. Except that, because he can't read, and my daughter can read well, but sometimes, we'll just kind of fast read a word and get it wrong and whatever else. I don't know. No, this didn't come from, because he asked me, there's a character in Katamari, one of the unlockable characters, is named Johnson. And, Johnson seems like a perfectly cool dude. They're all cool. He has decided, as I've told him when we first unlocked him, his name is Johnson. Somehow in the day or two after that, he has reworked in his mind the name.
That's my bad for standing there like an idiot.
The first rule of player feedback: you can never. They're both getting really good at that game. It's kind of crazy to watch. My daughter asked for the Switch for the first time in a long time, and because he's commandeering the TV, and so she took the Switch Lite and was back to playing Super Mario 3D World, and I was over here playing an unnamed video game. There was some fucking hot gaming going on in this room yesterday. It's just 3 people in the room, not talking to each other, playing video games. So that's been fun. We're going to talk about Shinobi. We're going to talk about a little skate and the news and stuff. Why don't we take a quick ad break, and we'll come back. We'll get into some video games. Seems like things are just getting busier and busier all the time, right? I mean, the only thing growing faster than your inbox is your to-do list. Well, now you have permission to ignore both. For a little while, anyway.
Yeah, you think CJ a bitch, huh? poppin' now. That's going in my retirement fund.
Look out, idiot, move! Hey, what's up, man?
Hey,
Have you ever tried bowling?
damn right.
Check out.
Ah! You jumped me!
What's going on?
How you spit on it?
I hate those cars, and I'm not Japanese.
Yeah, it's the worst.
What's happening,
Have
man?
you ever been to Glory Hill Theme Park?
Nope, not me.
Cool ride, dude.
My man.
I slept with a Scotsman last night.
Check that out, man. Hey, look at Soggy Endo.
We are entering the thick of it. Video games coming out. When you said things months ago about things like, oh, the game's out in October. It might as well be October.
Quit your running away shit, man. I got him pinned down.
Oh, you want this to get nasty?
Oh.
Give me that. Huh? This it? Oh, right. Some more. What's happening, bro? Hey, pay a nigga. Oh, you want what was you saying?
Go take this fool down. Yo, I'm making a break for it.
Give me them chips. What you say to me? Give me that grip.
Start tripping.
Them white boys had me on crystal meth. That shit look painful.
Yeah, them my ducats now. What you think now, fool?
I'm already dead, chump. And just on top ain't
Packing heat. Hey, I'll have that now.
underwear is overrated, man.
That's mine.
All this pussy is screwing my shit, man.
Get your stupid ass moving.
Get out of here.
Man, this is so ghetto.
Letter that
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Make another smart choice with AutoQuote Explorer to compare rates from multiple car insurance companies' auto quotes. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance and Affiliates. Not available in all states and situations. Prices may vary.
Hi, I'm Kristen Bell, and if you know my husband Dax, then you also know he loves shopping for a car. Selling a car? Not so much.
We're really doing this, huh?
Thankfully, Carvana makes it easy. Answer a few questions, put in your VIN or license, and done. We sold ours in minutes this morning, and they'll come pick it up and pay us this afternoon.
Bye-bye, truckie.
Of course, we kept the favorite.
Hello, other truckie.
Sell your car with Car...
Got that fool sprung. Set him up.
What's going on? Welcome to the program. It's the Jeff Gerstmann Show. It is out in October. Whatever qualifies. That next week? It's out September 11th. Can't believe I forgot that. But yeah, that's out next week. So I don't know. That's a big deal. I don't know. Shinobi just came out. The Skate is out in a couple of weeks here, which we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about Skate. Today is my son's first day of preschool. He was very excited, but he still wanted to play some We Love Katamari before breaking out for school. We're still figuring out the best way to get everybody up and ready and all that sort of stuff, but he sat down and played a good 8-9 minutes of it, and then it's like, okay, time to go. He's actually gotten to the point where he knows how to turn the PlayStation 5 off, which is more than I can say for a lot of people. Ever wonder why, they didn't even patch it in. They haven't even patched in the thing where you can hold down the PlayStation button and make it pop up the power off thing. Like, not only did they not launch with that functionality, they have not added it in the years since. So clearly they think this is a better way. They're wrong, but clearly they think this is the superior way for them to go over there. I don't know. It's ridiculous. But yes, I don't know. We're still, it's a problem. It's still a problem, I guess. We'll see now that he started school. He'll have more stuff going on. And, I think his desire to play the game will be limited by just the amount of free time he has. And so, that'll certainly be a factor. But in the days running up to the start of school, it was like the first words out of his mouth every morning. Daddy, can I play some We Love Katamari? And like, dude, no, I just woke up, man. I don't want to do it. But, he's very excited, and he knows all the names of all the cousins, which is I think is I think that's crazy. It's awesome, but I imagine knowing the names of all the dudes from Katamari. I never would. I mean, now I kind of do, except that because he can't read, and my daughter can read well, but sometimes it will just kind of fast read a word and get it wrong and whatever else. I don't know. No, this didn't come from, because he asked me, there's a character in Katamari. One of the unlockable characters is named Johnson. And Johnson seems like a perfectly cool dude. They're all cool. He has decided, as I've told him when we first unlocked him, his name is Johnson. Like, somehow in the day or two after that, he has reworked in his mind the name. And now he only refers to that character as Joshua. And I think Joshua is a great name. And I think that we should start naming people Joshua. It's just a hell of a name. That and Miso. There's another character. There's a soup bowl for a head. And Miso became something else. Maso. And I've corrected them multiple times, and they say, no, it's not it's not miso, it's masa. Oh, okay.
Yo, I write tracks about you and your mama.
See you tomorrow, sport.
I can't even masturbate anymore.
The streets are swamped, man.
What?
Worst way it limited is rework
Oh, okay. Okay.
Want to fold? The kitchen.
I was done. So I didn't want to fuck with it anymore. I didn't want to breathe on it wrong. I did play Slay the Spire. I liked it. I did not like it as much as Monster Train, but I liked it. Well, I'll take that. And I'll take that. And I'll take that. I have a client that brings in original Magic the Gathering artwork to get framed. Oh, that's cool. That's very cool. Dino Riders might have been a little before my time.
You calling, Daddy? Calling me.
I mean, after my time. I'm aware of it. I know what it is, but...
You're gonna love this shit.
Okay, I gotta focus, baby.
I do a lot.
Because he's gonna be moving some shit. I don't know where to pass.
Carl, what's up, baby brother?
What's happening?
Peep this. Tenpenny just came by. Said that one of them ballers that you and Smoke laid out, Lil Weasel, is getting buried and all the OGs gonna be there.
At a funeral?
Yeah, we just catch all those ball sack ass niggas at one time.
Hey, what up? What's going on, dog?
At a funeral.
Just like mamas.
What up, family?
Let's go pop these motherfuckers out.
Man? What's cracking?
Hey, look, we gotta go do something real big.
Nigga? What up, kinfolk?
Put Grove Street on the map for good. For life.
All right, nigga.
Grove Street for
Let's
life.
roll.
Give me what I want.
We gonna need some allies.
No, we never.
You wanna get
was
smoked,
cool.
baby?
We never really thought too much about him. Like that, no. Right, yeah, that's dead. Ooh, maybe not.
You gonna represent the set now, homie?
Let's roll.
Yeah, he's fucked up big time, sweetheart.
Homie, let's roll on some busters.
I put in work
Nice
right
to
now.
meet you.
Hey, will y'all get in the car so we can roll?
We go around back the left supper cross and sneak over the wall.
Kane, ain't that cat front yard royalty?
Yeah, so if there's a hint of trouble, he's a no-show.
Yeah, Robbo, it's a super race. I'm not one of those guys that's like hardcore into. Like, I've never even. I've sat down with Magic the Gathering and tried to figure it out. 5 minutes. I couldn't even figure out Pokemon, like the physical. Not that it was too hard, but I just. I'm sure I can figure it out. This does a pretty good job. For me, obviously.
this is it.
Slay the Spire is not only revealed, I want to say it's out in
Okay,
early
CJ,
access.
come on over.
Because I think I played it, or maybe I played a demo of it. And I thought, maybe I'm thinking, I know I'm thinking of Monster Train 2. I did not think Monster Train 2 was amazing. I was kind of
Y'all take a
disappointed in
position
it,
and
but
wait for Kane.
I know that came out in early access, maybe out of early access.
Here he come.
Pokemon is easy. I wanted to play that Disney one. What's the Disney thing called?
Looks like that Buster's wearing armor. Might take a round or two to drop his ass.
You know, I'm talking about the Lucania or some such.
Watch
I'm
yourself,
interested
dude.
in playing that. But when I went into the card shop to pick it up, actually, I remember this. I was like, okay, I want to pick up enough for me to play and for me to play with my kids. So just, 2 sets. And it was like $180. And I'm like, I don't even know if I like it. I have to spend $180. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, yeah.
Hey, what's cracking now?
I could risk it.
Head to a 1037 Central Vinewood. Suspect last seen on
I got this. Get in there.
Dude.
Family
Cover
hospital
me,
recognized.
cover me.
Don't be a goddamn hero.
Fool. Put it on that.
Perhaps smart.
Head to a 1037 in Central Vinewood. Suspect last seen on foot.
Shoot that motherfucker. You got my back on this one? 12 Streets of Light. Fuck him up.
Billy, go ahead.
Kane's belly. Nice one, CJ. I'll get us a getaway car. You guys take out the rest of those ballers.
Ah! Welcome to Ganton, fool. Cover me, cover me. Oh!
Oh, that was good.
Alright. Wait till I lose.
That was good. They almost killed me. That's right. I deserved it. I panicked.
Okay, everybody in, let's roll.
I have never eaten at a shittier restaurant.
Hey, man, let's roll.
The lights are awesome, Squall. Slow down, CJ.
It's hard to make the game look. I mean, same with this game. Right? This is unless you're like really into this game, this is like a terrible game to stream. For example, because it's just if you don't know what's going on, it's really kind of dumb to watch.
Ouch. I don't know what
Look out! Try, dog, try!
Dude. Shut up. Let me get up. Look behind you.
CJ,
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
Carlos,
look
that's
behind
true.
you once in a while.
But again,
oh man, it's getting fucking vicious now. I can't move, bro. I can't move. I can't move. They're using everything against me. They're using everything against me, bro.
That's why a lot of game trailers just
Man,
stupid.
what how you got
No.
some damn card now? Slow the fucker.
Yeah.
Hey, open your eyes,
Come on, it won't let me out. That was it. Funneled me into that, dude. I'm not taking that. I'm sorry. No, no, I'm not accepting that. Wow, it funneled me into that viciously. Ouch. Ouch. That hurt. Yeah. Yep. No free will there.
Let's do.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Fuck that shit, huh? Yep. Now you know how we got here, bro. Fuck math. Literally gotta have my head on a fucking swivel. Gotta take every excuse away from you, one by one, to keep you from cheating.
Ha! Fuck you, motherfucker.
Till I have you in a square.
I'm fucked
Yep,
up
that
now.
sucks ass. That really sucks ass, dude.
Battlefield is a terrible stream game, really?
So we witnessed the birth of the law. True story, dude.
This is 3 and 4. So
Erg.
8.
Frustrating.
An 8? Oh, but he'll win that, so I can't use that.
It sucks you in, dude. The ley lines. They suck you in. The ley lines suck you in.
Hope for the best for now. Cool. All right, I'll take it. Hulk out, baby. Come on, baby. Nope, still win. Fuck you, bitch.
Hey.
Somewhat deep and somewhat difficult to answer question that scientists have been tackling for many decades. And here I'm talking about one of the most profound questions humanity has ever asked. How did life actually start on planet Earth? And even though for centuries this remained a philosophical speculation, in recent decades there's been a lot of scientific breakthrough that started to paint a remarkably coherent, although still somewhat incomplete, biological picture. And in this case, it's something we now refer to as abiogenesis, the natural process by which life seems to arise from non-living matter that eventually evolved into organisms like us. But in today's video, we're actually going to focus on some of the most incredible discoveries in just the last few months that potentially take us a little bit closer to figuring out how this initial process actually started. But obviously, before we talk about all of this, let's briefly go through some of the important history just to connect the dots. And the story, of course, starts back in 1871. Charles Darwin. Darwin speculated about life originating in some kind of a warm little pond where a lot of simple chemical compounds would react and eventually form something much more complex that would then evolve into more complex organisms, including animals. And for 19th century, this was brilliant intuition. But unfortunately, he had no idea how any of this would physically work. And that's until some of the first experiments in the 1950s, with by now the most famous experiment being the Miller-Urey experiment, where the scientists simulated conditions on early Earth by zapping mixtures of gases like methane, ammonia, and water vapor with various electrical discharges, essentially simulating primordial lightning. And here, even in this somewhat simple setup, they spontaneously produced amino acids, the fundamental blocks that we're all made out of. And there's been some additional discoveries about this experiment in just the last few years that you can learn more about in one of the videos in the description. Naturally, we've also discovered similar amino acids in various extraterrestrial sources like meteorites, which possibly suggests that this is some kind of a widespread phenomenon, and in theory, life could maybe start elsewhere. But here we come to the main challenge. Getting these basic chemical building blocks is one thing, but assembling them into a self-sustaining, self-repairing, and self-reproducing system is a completely different thing. Here we need a system that's capable of metabolism, reproduction, evolution, and possibly a few more features that we usually define as life. And so up until recently, finding such a system and trying to explain it was of course somewhat challenging. But eventually, biologists proposed an idea now referred to as RNA world hypothesis. The idea originally proposed by Alexander Rich in 1962, and the idea that suggested that it was very likely RNA or ribonucleic acids that were the primary genetic material and even catalysts for early life. And DNA very likely evolved afterwards for some of the more complex organisms. Now once again you can learn about this proposition and some of the discoveries in some of the previous videos in the description, but in essence, because RNA is so incredibly versatile and is able to store genetic information just like DNA, and is also able to form three-dimensional shapes, catalyze chemical reactions, and even act as a primitive enzyme, hinted at RNA being one of the most important molecules in order to eventually evolve complex life. And especially because technically RNA can also replicate itself and even facilitate various biochemical processes without the need for proteins. So in other words, early life could have just started with these RNA molecules all over the place. And so far there's been a lot of evidence for this proposition, including inside our own cells. Even in our own cells, RNA still plays a very important role that's technically even more important than DNA itself. For example, most of the protein synthesis and most of the information transfer is done entirely by RNA. DNA in this case just acts as a kind of an informational repository. And so it's the RNA that does most of the other stuff. But even here, there's something that's missing. So how exactly did RNA form? And how did all of this start initially? And so even though the RNA world hypothesis provides us with a compelling framework for information and catalysis, it does not explain where a lot of energy for all of this came from. For example, what drove all of these reactions, and how were these molecules able to do all of this without things like, for example, ATP or adenosine triphosphate that today pretty much all cells use for energy. And this is where we get our second and very brilliant proposition that's based on something even simpler, thioesters, with the idea known as the thioester world hypothesis, initially proposed by a Belgian scientist, Christian de Duvet. And he essentially proposed that it was very likely thioesters, or chemical compounds containing sulfur, that were very likely originally used by various RNA molecules as the universal energy currency. And this was of course way before evolution of ATP that's used today by all life. And in general, a typical thioester looks something like this. There is an oxygen, there's a sulfur, and an attachment known as the organyl group, that can actually become pretty complex. And these molecules are known to be pretty reactive and can also release energy. This is usually done when their bonds are broken, which in theory makes them the ideal candidate to fuel the formation of much more complex molecules. And more importantly, molecules like peptides, or the building blocks of RNA. And so in essence, Christian de Duvet imagine a kind of a primordial planet where thioesters power the chemical reactions necessary to build some of the first genetic material.
The State Department is warning you that diplomatic channels are breaking down. Everyone who still has control of their arsenals is considering
how such compounds could have accumulated in sufficient quantities under very specific primitive Earth conditions. Which brings us to some of the newer studies you can find in the description and some truly groundbreaking work. And specifically this study from University College London, led by the chemist Matthew Powner. And this study presents us with a major breakthrough. Essentially, they found a way to bridge the RNA world hypothesis and thioester world hypothesis, to some extent explaining how the more primitive thioester molecules eventually resulted in slightly more complex RNA. So here's exactly what they achieved in this study. They managed to make amino acids and RNA spontaneously join together in conditions like just your regular water, and in conditions involving neutral pH. In this case, this is mimicking conditions on early Earth approximately 4 billion years ago. And the key was the thioester. Their experiments showed that thioesters provide necessary energy for a lot of amino acids to activate and then bind to RNA. But much more crucially, they also demonstrated very specific aminoacyl-thiols that then selectively reacted with certain RNA diols rather than creating indiscriminate reactions with other molecules. And it's this selectivity that's vital in this experiment. It basically suggests that in these conditions, very specific right connections could form, preventing random non-functional peptide chains. Or just to rephrase this implied a kind of a guided selection that would then lead to specific molecules and very specific RNA chains, which effectively suggested that RNA molecules could now begin to control protein synthesis. And here they were able to achieve various steps of this process and even control the synthesis of RNA in just irregular water conditions. And this process did not require any kind of an enzyme and was basically done through a simple chemical switch, specifically the thioester and thioacid activation that could then theoretically could lead to protein synthesis, which is actually what you're seeing right here. Amino acids are linked into peptides forming proteins, with all of this requiring nothing but water and thioester molecules. And this is a huge step for biochemistry and scientists trying to understand the origin of life. This is a direct experimental demonstration of a plausible pathway for what RNA very likely did early on and for how RNA molecules could have started synthesis of early proteins without ATP by just using this very simple molecule for energy, which eventually, of course, would lead to all fundamental processes inside modern life. So this was definitely quite a brilliant experiment and quite a brilliant explanation. But this was not the only discovery from just the last few months, and we do have additional studies that explain this even further. And specifically because RNA still requires some kind of a container or something to bind itself in order to protect itself from the environment. And here we're talking about the concept of a protocell, something that was discussed a few years back in a study you see right here. And here we have another intriguing hypothesis, the droplet world hypothesis, which would be essentially the next step in the evolution, with the main principle suggesting protocells which might have started as some kind of a droplet that eventually started to store all of these RNA molecules, allowing them to do all of their stuff inside instead of the outside. And here once again this connects to thioesters. Here researchers showed that they could use amino acid thioesters as prebiotic building blocks to create something much more complex, with their experiments showing that oligopeptides spontaneously formed very tiny soft spherical structures that scientists refer to as coacervate droplets through the process known as liquid-liquid phase separation. And what's even more remarkable is that these droplets were able to undergo a steady growth division cycle by periodically adding additional monomers, by essentially growing, and when subjected to any physical stress from the outside, they would then shear, dividing into new smaller droplets that would then grow again. So kind of mimicking reproduction. And this was experimentally demonstrated several times, with every division taking just a few hours. And so here they physically show that certain complex molecules, once again involving these thioesters, can actually start their own version of replication, and this is known as the autocatalytic self-reproduction. But crucially, these reproducing droplets could also take and concentrate a lot of additional important biological molecules like the early RNA molecules and various lipids. And when RNA entered these droplets, they would tend to localize near the inner boundary, which actually surprisingly helped protect the droplet from being dissolved by various lipids. And so here there was already this very bizarre symbiotic-like relationship between the droplet and RNA, with this super cool system providing this very important missing link. The link between chemistry, simple chemistry, and the beginning of biology. This essentially provides us with direct experimental model for how these primordial environments could have potentially started early life. Perhaps inside various hot springs, perhaps in the depth of the oceans near the hydrothermal vents, or maybe in certain types of lakes containing just the right conditions. Now we still have no idea exactly where this would happen, but we kind of have experiments showing us that this is definitely possible. So essentially here it's definitely possible to recreate tiny self-reproducing droplets mimicking life itself. And all of this just required thioesters and RNA, in essence also confirming the ideas behind thioester world hypothesis and RNA world hypothesis. So definitely super cool stuff. But where does this leave us when it comes to the origin of life? Can we actually answer the question once and for all? Well, we're definitely seeing a lot of convergence of different ideas and different propositions, but the exact explanation is still missing. For example, here, the RNA world hypothesis explains how genetic information and even catalysis could emerge, whereas the Thioester world hypothesis provides a plausible energy source for some of these early reactions, with this last experiment also showing us how early reproduction could have started as well. But despite these initial links and these initial connections, all of this is still a hypothesis. And it's very likely going to remain a hypothesis until we discover something very similar happening on another world. And so in other words, we do require some kind of an extraterrestrial life in order to confirm these ideas and in order to understand how life evolved on our own planet. But importantly, when it comes to biochemistry and microbiology, we're now definitely moving beyond just these isolated propositions into an era of integrated models where things slowly are starting to make a lot more sense. And this is not just philosophical anymore, it is supported by increasingly sophisticated experimental evidence where actual non-living chemicals seem to kind of sort of act like living cells, bringing us just a little bit closer to finally understanding how life began. And honestly, it's really studies like this that represents a true testament to the power of scientific inquiry. Because here, slowly but surely, after decades of research, we're piecing together all of the life's deepest mysteries, and we're slowly but surely getting closer and closer to the understanding of origin of life. And although we are pretty close, we're just not there yet. And so once we get there, or once we have some updates, we'll come back and discuss this more in some of the future videos. Until then, thank you for watching. Check out all the links in the description below. Come back tomorrow to learn something else. Support the channel on Patreon where you can find additional videos without any ads, and can DM me directly.
What a feeling is believing.
Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And welcome to 2025, guys. We're going to talk about a couple of stories here. We didn't talk about it the first time around, but we're going to talk about it the second time around because apparently now the police have to get involved anytime somebody sells AI art at a convention.
Yeah, this is insane.
So we've got two stories within a week of each other. And the first one is going to be Dragon Con. They called the police on someone accused of selling AI art. And I'm hearing different stories from different people. It depends on who you ask, like what actually went on. But my understanding is there was a vendor selling art that was accused of being AI, but this person, other people said they sell original hand-drawn art as well as AI art, and they're pretty forthcoming with that. But apparently Dragon Con, again, depends on who you ask, had a policy against AI art, and they were asked to leave, and things got heated, and the police got involved. And so we've got people cheering, like, yeah, get those art thieves out of Artist Alley. But I'm like, yeah, it kind of doesn't help your case any when you're right next to a vendor that's got, bootleg drawings of, Catwoman and Batgirl. And, what I'm saying?
That's the thing for me is because, anybody watches this channel knows I'm not huge on the AI thing. That being said, I think it's okay as a tool if it's trained on your stuff. Like there's a difference between stealing other people's stuff to train it and training on your own stuff. First of all, if you train on your own stuff, then it's not. I don't see the problem with it. Two, the hypocrisy of it all. I mean, as much as I personally wouldn't be there doing prints like that, I do understand that you're calling them art thieves. I've been to Artist Alley. I've been part of Artist Alley. Heck, I've been guilty of doing this myself. Your stuff won't sell, so you use other people's IP.
Yes.
You're stealing their
Yeah,
IP.
yeah.
Technically, you are.
Technically, you are, yes.
Most times they're not going to care because you're not making enough money off of it to make it an issue. But you are, and if you're not doing that, you have these walls of print some people have that they clearly,
Yes.
all the art styles are different and they stole it from people online.
Yes.
You have that too. And they're not being booted out.
Yeah. So it depends on who you ask. But I think what shocked me so much about this, again, like you said, was the hypocrisy of it all. Because it's like if you're going to claim that AI is stealing art, well, not everybody, but most of the vendors I'm familiar with at Artist Alley at cons over the years, and we did the con scene for years, most of them are technically selling stolen art as well. I guess as long as you steal it by hand.
Yeah, I guess you're drawing it yourself.
Thievery,
it's fan art, but
artisanal thievery. That it's okay. And the only reason that these big companies haven't cracked down is it's not worth it to them to do so. Now, I have heard that the bigger conventions like New York Comic Con, San Diego, that they were going to crack down a little bit harder because some of these people are making 6 figures a year or more selling bootleg stuff. But if you're at a convention, you can't even cover your table costs, and you're selling some Catwoman prints or Harley Quinn prints, I don't think they give a shit. I think
I'm just saying it is a double standard. And like AI, I get it if you're just completely having it just generate everything from other people's work or, right off the internet. I get that. That would be shitty. I don't disagree with you. However, you can train AI to just be based on your work.
Yes, you can.
So it looks like your work, it's a continuation of your work. So you can use it as a tool to assist with your work. But it's not like just doing it whole cloth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is where I think eventually this is going to go. I think once everybody gets over, it's kind of like the NFT thing. Like everybody freaked the hell out about NFTs, and then it kind of calmed down, and we found a use for them or whatever. But I think that's going to happen with AI too, where artists will basically calm the hell down, realize that, okay, I can use this as a tool. I can use it as an inking assistant or a coloring assistant or something like that. Just basically a really fancy Photoshop filter. And people are using that already. So that's where I think it's going to go. I'm not talking about just lifting people's stuff.
Yeah, see, I don't have a problem with it if people are using it as based on their own. They trained it on their own stuff. My problem, unfortunately, though, most people don't do that.
Right.
Most people just have it generate whole cloth, and that's where I have a problem with
that's
it.
They're like they put the prompt in.
Yeah,
hey,
I don't agree with. But like if you have it trained
Harley
on your
Quinn
stuff, or using it as a tool to color or to streamline or to tighten up your own work, I don't see where that's a problem. The problem lies in the fact if you're just generating it based on other people's stuff, then that is an issue.
Now,
but again, it's no different than just stealing people's prints.
So that being said, if the convention actually had rules that you were not allowed to sell AI art,
yes, which apparently they did,
then you have to adhere to those rules.
Agreed.
Because I know we've been to shows before where they're like, you can't do any mass-produced whatever. It has to be hand-drawn original stuff, or it has to be, crafts that you made yourself or whatever. You can't just order a bunch of stuff from LTD. People do it, but now what I think happened in this particular case, somebody narked on them.
Oh, 100%.
100%, because there is a massive anti-AI sentiment now in the art spaces. And
when they got gone, when they put like a hand-drawn hashtag or something.
They put a hashtag up there that was like, I don't know where it was. I found it, but they were like, hashtag, here it is, hashtag vendor removed for selling AI art, hashtag art by humans. It's like, no, that's somebody bragging because they probably got them removed. So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you'll get woo if you do.
Woo.
Again, this isn't an isolated incident because it just happened last week at Fan Expo in Toronto, where I guess it was a phone company, tech company, Bell Canada, had basically an anime filter, AI anime filter, and there was like a protest, and they had to call the cops there too because there was like 12 weebs protesting.
But the difference was because it was a big company that spent a lot of money, they protected the company there. At the other place, they got rid of the AI person.
Yeah. I mean, this is like, look, it's gonna happen, guys. I don't know what to tell you. Like, everybody's using Snapchat filters now. It's being built into everything. You don't have to like it. I'm not telling you to just suck it up and love the AI. What I'm telling you is the reality of the situation is it's here, and all the studios are using it. I guarantee you, all the comic book publishers in the very near future, to stay competitive, will also start using it, whether you like it or not. And
again, using it as a tool to improve your own work, and it's using your work, is not the same thing as just generating a whole cloth.
Yeah, now we've got, I mean, this is what's so wild about this whole discussion of AI in comics is you've got Marvel Comics editor Tom Brevoort saying that he's kind of, he's intrigued by AI, which means translation
cheaper.
It's cheaper and it doesn't talk back.
Saves time.
It saves time. So, like, do you think, we're gonna just keep doing the hand-drawn art forever? No, I guarantee you, Marvel and or DC is gonna flinch. They're probably doing it already. And they're just not getting caught yet. I know there was a Joker cover a year or so ago that people were like, oh my God, it's AI. But now what's going on is we've got these AI witch hunts where even people that are doing hand-drawn art are being accused of using AI. Art that was produced 10 years ago before AI existed is now being scrutinized. And they're accusing it of AI. So this whole thing is crazy. But this is what happened. So this is, let's see here. Is that Dragon Con? It was a vendor. I guess it was a woman. I think it was a husband-wife team. Oriana Gurez faced backlash and was asked to leave, sparking heated debate across social media platforms. Dragon Con currently lacks a clear public policy addressing AI in its artist alley or exhibition guidelines.
Well, I saw another one that said they had they added AI language.
They added it in 2024. So who the
I don't know. There's two
I didn't go to Dragon Con. I don't know. I'm saying if it's in their guidelines that you're not allowed to, fine. But I'm like, did the police have to be called in? I mean, what the hell?
But
and
if
I guarantee
it wasn't in their guidelines, then they really could get themselves in a lot of trouble because if they didn't spell it out. Depends where you look. Some say they did, some say they didn't. If they didn't spell it out that you couldn't use it or you'd be removed, they could be in a lot of trouble. So it depends whether the AI clause was in there or not. And if it was, then, I'm sorry, but they did say they could remove you for that.
So fellow vendor Dragon Con Dane of Monkey Minion, a favorite of Bleeding Cool EIC, Caitlin Booth, posted the aftermath of the show the day after, shared here with permission. So yeah, somebody put the sign on the table. What is this? Oh my God. El Bozo Cope Seethe. All my homies hate AI. Boo this man. Oh my God. They're just like, so this is just say no to AI slop. AI is not art. AI images instead of art. This is okay. Somebody narked on this person. That's what
a lot of people did.
While social media, So while social media did not seem apologetic, posting I'd share a screenshot of my sales this weekend, but you don't have to show it to give any explanations to you losers. You guys are sore because you don't sell shit and will be forever broke. Have fun being a broke bitch. Ouch. Okay, well, that's not nice.
About who?
About the artist that got him canceled from the show. This is the guy hot dogging, I guess. Okay. Their Instagram's now private, and the CV on their website's been removed. The website includes artwork. The website includes artwork that certainly doesn't seem to be AI generated. Again, these are accusations, and there does seem to be some disconnect between the website and the work on display. Dragon Con doesn't. This is coming from Bleeding Cool. Okay, so just take it for whatever. I'm not responsible for this. Dragon Con doesn't seem to have a clear AI policy on the website, but last year, Cedar Sanderson's cover for the novel Goblin Market was a 2024 Dragon Awards finalist in the Best Illustrated Book Cover category. About 5 minutes after the ballot was listed, people pointed out it was AI, and it was gone. Dragon Con co-chair Dave Cody stated at the time, "We recognize that AI is a new tool with enormous potential, and society will eventually come to a consensus about how it should be used."
Basically, we know people were pissed about it. It's going to be a tool. It's going to be everywhere. But for now, since you're pissed,
that is pretty much
translation.
I'm going to be honest. The reason that people aren't jumping on the train faster, or at least not being public about it, is because we've got people in Artist Alley complaining. We got animators complaining. They're still using it. Mark my words. And I know this is true. these studios, these publishers, they're still using it. They're just not broadcasting it. And they're trying to see how much they can get away with without. Look at Hasbro. Oh, that's not AI art. Yeah, it is. Okay. Sorry, guys. We won't do it again. We promise. Oh, that was AI art too. Oh, whoopsie doopsie. I guess we didn't understand.
We didn't know when we hired them.
We didn't know we hired the AI artist whose name was AI artist and whose social media handle Swedish. Swedish penis pump, Kara of Austin Powers, or